There are so many ways to be creative with color in Illustrator, including applying gradients to your artwork. A gradient is a blend between two or more colors, like you see in this shape. To finish this icon artwork, you'll apply an existing gradient, then edit that gradient to suit your design needs. If you'd like to follow along, you can open this document from the practice files for this tutorial. You'll start by filling this shape with a gradient. So with the selection tool selected, click in this background shape to select it. To fill a shape with a gradient, click the Fill Color in the Properties panel on the right, and make sure that the swatches are chosen so you can see the default color swatches you can use. Illustrator documents come with a series of default gradient swatches. Try clicking these gradient swatches one at a time to see how they affect the fill of the shape. Gradients can add interest, depth, and dimension to your artwork. And in Illustrator, gradients can be applied to the fill or stroke of most objects. Make sure you finish by applying the gradient called white-black here. Once you apply a gradient, you can then edit the colors as well as how it appears in the selected artwork. To edit the gradient, click the Gradient Options button at the bottom of the panel to show the gradient panel. You can move the gradient panel around if you need by dragging the title bar at the top. In the gradient panel, there are a lot of options for editing a gradient, but you'll simply focus on editing the colors in this gradient. Since you applied the gradient to the fill of this shape, you need to make sure you're editing the fill in the gradient panel and not the stroke. So click the fill box so it's on top if it isn't already. Whichever is on top, the fill or the stroke, is what you change for the selected artwork. This color bar shows you the overall color gradation you see in the artwork. These two little color circles, which are called color stops, represent the colors in the gradient. You should see white and black. Drag this white color stop to the right and watch what happens to the artwork when you release it. Dragging it closer to the second color means the transition from white to black in this case is much shorter. Drag that white color stop back to the left end. If you want to change the colors in a gradient, you can edit each color separately. Double-click the white color stop to edit it so that you can see the saved color swatches that come with the document. Click the Swatches button. Then select the color named Cream. To change the other color in the gradient, click in the Gradient panel to hide the swatches. Then double-click the black color stop. Select the color swatch named Blue in the panel. With the colors set, you can now edit the gradient within this shape using the Gradient tool. Click the X at the top of the gradient panel so you can close it. In the Tools panel on the left, select the Gradient tool, and you should see a bar appear across the fill of the shape. This shows the direction and length of the gradient fill. You can also see the two colors on either end, those color stops you saw in the Gradient panel. To change the direction and length of the gradient, you'll drag across the object. So starting toward the bottom of the shape, press and drag up to almost the top. After you release the mouse, you just change the direction of the gradient, and you also set the length of the gradient, which is how long it takes to blend from the cream color to the blue color. So that you can deselect the artwork, choose Select, Deselect. Adding gradients to artwork can open doors to new types of creativity. You should now be able to use gradients to do things like add depth to a button, or create the perfect setting sun for a poster, for instance. If you need to change the color of artwork, maybe making all colors in a poster lighter, or creating different versions of a single logo, for instance, having to change each and every color can be really time-consuming and challenging. Using the Recolor Artwork feature in Illustrator, you can do this simply and quickly. To follow along, open this document from the practice files for this tutorial. Now, to recolor artwork, first you need to select the artwork you want to recolor. In this case, you'll adjust the colors for all of these grouped lions. With the selection tool selected, click one of the lions to select them all. Now you can recolor all of the selected content at once. In the Properties panel on the right, click this Recolor button to open the Recolor Artwork dialog box. You can move it if you need by dragging up here. Recolor Artwork in Illustrator lets you create unlimited color variations instantly with a color balancing wheel, curated color libraries, or this color theme picker. Now in the color wheel, all of the colors that Illustrator found in the selected artwork are represented by these little circles called handles. The pink from one of the backgrounds, the blue from one of the lion's manes, and so on. You can change these colors in whatever way you want. For instance, if you drag any of these color handles, you edit the hue or color for all of them. Dragging that color handle toward the center decreases the saturation for just that one color. If you drag the largest handle you see here, called the base color, and then you release, you can change the hue and saturation for all of the colors. Now, if you want to change the colors independently, click the Link, Unlink Harmony Colors option here. Then you can drag a color handle into another part of the color wheel, and notice that just that one color in the artwork changes when you let go. If you double-click on one of the color handles, in the Color Picker dialog box, you can change the color values visually and by entering the values. And click OK to accept it. Now, if you want, you can undo a few color changes by clicking Undo Changes up here, or even clicking Redo Changes to redo them. To change the colors back to the original colors, click Reset. That's really helpful if you experiment, but then you want to go back. Now, you can recolor artwork using predefined colors available under the Color Library menu here. You can choose from color groups, document swatches, or even preset color themes. Try choosing a few. You can then always edit the colors together or separately in the color wheel. Now, with the Color Theme Picker, you can pick and extract color from one or more artwork or images already in the document. So let's try it. Click the Color Theme Picker button to activate the color picker. Click this image and you'll extract and apply the color from it. You can also click Vector Artwork like this group of shapes. Know that if artwork is not grouped, only the object you click on will have color extracted. You can even drag to create a marquee selection of specific parts of artwork to extract just those colors. Currently, this only works on vector artwork, not images. Now, to pick colors from more than one object, press the Shift key and click on the image here, for instance. You'll extract those colors as well. Now, the color palette you see here was downloaded as a JPEG image from the Trends section on color.adobe.com and was placed in here. Try clicking on that to extract the colors. Now, you can also view the weight of colors present in the artwork in the Prominent Colors section toward the bottom of this dialog box. The more prominent colors are categorized based on the hue and shade of the color. To adjust the weight of a color in the artwork, below the color bar, move the pointer between two colors. Drag the slider to the right to make the color to the left of the slider have more weight. You can also then drag it back if you want. With the Color Theme Picker still selected, I'll click back on the image to extract those colors and try adjusting one of the prominent colors down here. Once you're happy with the color, you can then save those colors in the Swatches panel to reuse them later by clicking the folder icon down here. You can save all of the colors or choose Save Prominent Colors to only save the colors shown in the Prominent Colors section. Once you're finished, select the Selection tool and click away from the artwork to close the Recolor Artwork dialog box. Instead of editing the colors in your artwork separately, the Recolor Artwork feature gives you a powerful way to edit a series of colors quickly and visually. Now you can explore adding color in your own projects, maybe creating several color versions of a logo.